Hi there, Class 10 students studying NCERT book First Flight. Today it's time to get another explanation video from your teacher, Mrs. Harpreet Kaur from English Frog Club. And the lesson we are going to do today is the 100 Dresses 1. So this is the part 1 of the explanation video of 100 Dresses 1. So without rumbling here and there, let's move on. Dresses 1 is a story about a poor Polish girl who was teased by her friends in the school. So let us see what happens in the school. Who was this girl and how she tackled to this fun making activity by her friends. Today, Monday, Wanda Petronsky was not in her seat. But nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence. So here the writer is telling us the day that is after weekend. It's the first day of the week, that is Monday, and Wanda Petronsky was not in her seat. She was absent that day. So Wanda was absent that day. And it was not being noticed by any student in the class, even by the girls named Peggy and Madeline. Those were the two girls who started the fun making activity with her, and they also did not notice that she wasn't there in the class. Usually Wanda sat in the seat next to the last seat, in the last row in room 13. So here the room number 13 is the classroom, and the seating habit of Wanda is discussed. So Wanda used to sit in the corner of the room, corner of the room where rough boys who did not make good marks sat. The corner of the room where there was most scuffling of the feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. So what was the quality of the place where she used to sit was that it was quite noisy, it was muddy, dirty, and it was not a place where intelligent students used to sit. It was a place where the rough boys, the boys who were not good in nature, who were not obedient kind of children, who were naughty and less interested in studies, were used to sit there. Let's read what was the reason of her sitting there where so many girls were there in the class, and why she used to sit all alone at a place where only boys used to sit, and that too she always kept quiet. She did not talk anything to anyone in the class, and she was not even popular in the class that children noticed whether she was absent or present. Wanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. On the contrary, she was very quiet and rarely said anything to all. And nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. So the writer here wants to say that Wanda was not because she was also noisy and rough, but but her nature was quite opposite to the boys who used to sit there. Wanda was quiet and she rarely talked to anyone in the class. It was only just she used to sit, maximum what she used to do was just to give a smile, and that was all. She did not talk to anyone in the class. She never laughed in the class. So this was her nature. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat, unless it was because she came all the way from Bogan Heights and her feet were usually caked with dry mud. So, Bogan Heights is a hilly area, is an area where the streets are not, cemented, and the roads are muddy roads, and she used to bring a lot of mud with her, with her along with her shoes. So maybe that was one of the reason, perhaps it was one of the reasons why she used to sit there, as she felt a little sorry of being staying in a very low and slum area of that city, of that area. Maybe that was one of the reasons. But no one really thought much about Wanda Petrinsky once she sat in the corner of the room. Okay, so it was like she didn't have any friends in the class. It is really difficult for a child to study in a class where he or she doesn't have any friends. So let's see how what happens to this child, why she was absent, what was the reason behind that she was absent and nobody noticed about her absence. The time when they thought about Wanda was outside the school hours. At noontime, when they were coming back to school or in the morning early before school began, when groups of 2 or 3 or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the schoolyard. So, Wanda was never noticed by the children in the class, but they used to wait her, they used to be there with her before and after the school, in the schoolyard or on the way to the school, or on the way to or from the school. Then sometimes they waited for Wanda to have fun with her. So look at the mentality of the children. They never talked to her in the class, but they used to wait for her, and to make fun of her. They used to wait for her before and after the school so that they can tease her and make fun of her. The next day, Tuesday, Wanda was not in school either, and nobody noticed her absence again. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in the whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. So 2 days had already gone, Monday and Tuesday had gone, and nobody noticed. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie noticed. Who were Peggy and Maddie? They were the girls who used to sit in the front rows where where the students who scored good marks used to sit, and they did not bring lot of mud to the class. Some of them used to sit in the front rows with the children who were intelligent and secured good marks. Moreover, these children do not bring mud to the class, as they belong to a class of the people who lived in neat and clean houses, and their dresses and shoes were not at all dirty. So what happened? Why they noticed Wanda was absent on Wednesday? Let's just explore it. Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. She was pretty. She had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. Maddie was her closest friend. So here we are getting something about Peggy and Maddie. Peggy was the most popular. She was the most beautiful, pretty girl in the class, and she was rich. Her clothes were always tidy, and she had many dresses also, and her hair was beautiful curly hair. Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence was because Wanda had made them late to school. Peggy and Maddie only noticed Wanda's absence when they could not trace her for teasing her before the school, and they kept on waiting for her, and she did not come to school. Peggy and Maddie came to notice, they noticed Wanda's absence just because they got late because of Wanda. How they got late? Let's just read further and come to know. They had waited and waited for Wanda to have fun with her, and she just hadn't come. They often waited for Wanda Petronsky to have fun with her. So before the school started, both Maddie and Peggy were waiting for her, and so Wanda did not come and they got late to school. So that was the day, on Wednesday, on the third day of Wanda's absence, they come to know that she was not there in the school. That is all in the explanation video of this part of 100 Dresses Part 1 of the book First Flight under NCERT publication. So I, Harpreet Kaur, wish to take leave now, but before leaving, I would like to ask you whether you have subscribed to my channel or not. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly consider subscribing and hit the bell icon for the latest updates of my videos.